estimate, it has been found that 370 million new sexually transmitted diseases occur each year across the globe. And shockingly, the most to be infected by it are young individuals. It is one of the leading causes of death. But why and how? Can integrating technology into healthcare resolve this issue? Can we as communities come together to resolve this issue through awareness programs and events? Let's understand more about it from Dr. Ashwini Priyadarshini Singh, who holds specialization in public health and family medicine, has been a part of many healthcare institutions and events. We'll take this forward with her and understand more about ways to take care of our health. Doctor, how do sexually transmitted diseases impact women?
Okay, so first of all, we need to know what actually sexually transmitted diseases are. These are mostly infections which any sexually active person can get. It can be males, it can be females. And around 6%, statistically speaking, 6% of population in India has STDs, get STDs rather, and it's a huge number. When it comes to being the most populous country, it's a really huge number. It impacts men and women almost equally, but the propensity of women getting an STD is comparatively higher is because of the way our genitals are. So it is a troublesome thing which can happen to you very, very easily.
How can we prevent STDs?
Okay, so there are certain risk factors to getting STDs. Mostly having multiple sexual partners, not having hygienic relationships, especially sexual relationships with your sexual partner can lead to transmission of a lot of STDs, right? And the problem with STDs is that a lot of my patients and a lot of people don't want to talk about it. And then they go and start searching for information, and also they go and start searching for people who can actually help them with it, especially when it comes to sexual health. But just like any other disease, it is a disease which needs to be discussed with your treating clinician. You can be extremely open with them and they can help you out only when you give them the right kind of history, right? So coming back to your question, how can we prevent them? I think having one sexual partner, being hygienic, both the partners, and using the correct kind of barrier contraception like condoms when it comes to when you're not planning a family or anything. Basically not exposing your tissues a lot can help you prevent a lot of STDs.
Actually, people are hesitant to talk about STDs and there are a lot of stigmas associated with it, and that is why many people lose their lives to STDs. So there is a need to stop these stigmas associated. Can you brief us about some of the stigmas that are associated with STDs?
Yeah, so as I said, so see, first of all, when you, honestly in my opinion, being a young generation doctor, earlier we used to do a lot of astrological matching. I think now you should match your blood group, because there are a lot of blood group disorders which can precipitate in your child, which may not be the best kind of best kind of outcome that you're expecting, best kind of biological outcome. And more than that, if you're planning to be sexually active with someone, you should do a screening test. There are now, science has advanced, there are so many screening tests which are available, which you can do on your partner, especially for diseases like HIV, hepatitis B and C, syphilis, and gonorrhea, chlamydia. All of these diseases, they can be easily screened by doing a test. Then for HPV also, it can affect males also. So for that, you can do a pap smear. So all of these tests easily available in all sort of labs. If you're planning to have a partner for almost all your life, you must do it as a screening test. And as far as stigmatization goes, so we still don't talk about our intimate health so much, our intimate relationships so much. So people are generally very closed off, right? Even when they go to a professional thinking that they will be judged. So I think when you go to your treating doctor, it is a very safe space. You're protected by a lot of laws, which entails patient privacy, where a doctor cannot let out any detail that you have given to the doctor. So you're protected by law. So you should just be very, very candid and very, very truthful to your treating doctor about your sexual practices. That is probably the best way to destigmatize it.
And it's very right that you mentioned that before you get married to somebody, you need to get yourself screened and tested.
Yeah.
That's very important.
So
We do the horoscope matching, but it's time that we do the blood matching and we check for this. We check ourselves for different diseases that we might be having. So it's very important that you take a screening test before you get into any kind of a relationship, especially an intimate relationship with anyone.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, marriage is one kind, but I think we live in a very progressive and in a very neutral sort of a world now, where we recognize almost all kind of relationships.
Yeah.
So whenever you are planning to have an intimate connection with anyone, you can just go and do those screening tests. I'm not trying to promote anything here, but as a scientist, as a doctor, as someone who understands that a certain type of practice can put you at risk and a certain type of practice can also get you out of a risk, this is my recommendation. If you're planning to be intimate with someone, then there are certain screening tests which are easily available. You can do it, and anytime you think there is something wrong with your genitals, anytime you think that post a sexual experience you are facing some issues, you must go and talk about it to your treating clinician.
Healthy India की trusted lab.